Okay, so does anybody else feel embarrassed that they don't really know how fighting game tournaments work? I mean, we've all watched anime, we've seen tournaments before. But when you see high level play, they seem to speak some kind of totally different language. Well, it's simpler than you think. This is a video for those who want to jump into the tournament scene, but don't really know where to start. So let's start with the baseline. So you enter your fighting game tournament, you enter your super embarrassing gamer tag, and you're waiting for your first round of matches to start. Here's your first problem. Because unfortunately, you haven't entered the round phase of the tournament. I know, annoying. Usually larger tournaments, or just the ones with the big number of entries, have something that's called the pool phase. Think of this as a mini tournament with a small group of competitors. And in this section, everybody's going to face everybody, just to determine who has a better win ratio amongst the other competitors. Now, this phase is usually held in a bit of a round robin kind of format. And yeah, like I said, everybody's going to face everybody. So kind of imagine the World Cup, I guess. This is where points and win ratios are going to matter a lot more, so that usually the top two competitors are going to advance to the regular round phases of the tournament. All right, so through some incredible miracle, you make it through the sweat monster phase of the tournament. And now you're in the rounds. Whew, exciting. All right, so now you're chilling. You're playing some rounds, you're feeling yourself, and all of a sudden...
Save. Oh no!
Oh, nicely done.
You lose?
Damn. All those hours spent, all those sleepless nights, all that time in the training room just wasted. All right, not exactly. So what's cool about fighting game tournaments is that everything is a double elimination or a double loss kind of event. Meaning if you lose two matches, then you're going home. All right, so you've lost. And as a competitor, you would go down to a place called the loser's bracket. Now this is a do or die kind of stakes for everybody that falls from the winner's bracket down to here. Now, following traditional fashion, each match from here on is going to be a fight for survival. Because just like you, there's going to be an opponent that's fallen from the upper ranks. Now, each player, depending how early they get placed in the loser's bracket, they're going to have to make their way up to the finals. But hold on. But if everyone is already lost, how are they supposed to make it back to the finals? I'm glad you asked that question. Like, yeah, it gets a little bit confusing. Like, how are the same two players supposed to be able to face each other again in the same tournament? Well, let's keep this simple. If player B loses to player A, then they're sent down to the loser's bracket. Now, every time player A knocks somebody else down, that's going to be the next opponent for player B. So now players C and player B need to battle it out. Remember, each of these guys have one loss apiece, meaning only one can survive. Now, let's say the tournament goes on and all of a sudden the plot thickens. Player A loses to player X. Well, now player A has to get knocked down to the loser's bracket. Remember, player B is still waiting for their chance for redemption. This is our rematch. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other complications and other people in tournaments, and it's not going to be as cut and dry or as simple as this example. But this is essentially the essence of what goes down in every local or every major tournament. Now, this is all good, but what happens when somebody loses in the finals? Believe it or not, this happens quite a bit. Now, this is where the NFTs come into play. I'm just messing around. Now, the finals usually play out one of two ways. Now, both brackets happen simultaneously until there's a finalist in each of the brackets. And within these two brackets, that's how we're going to determine the finals, or the grand finals, I guess. When the person in the loser's bracket happens to win the set against the undefeated contender, then the bracket is reset, meaning everybody is now at even 1-1 losses apiece. And this is when tournaments get the most hype, because this is when everybody is on even playing field. Everything is win or go home. What's funny is that tournaments are never easy unless you have a handle on some of the fundamentals. So here's something to get you started. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Keep it classy. You'll thank me in the morning.